This Friday, we have our first Player of the Month program coming out. So in this video, we're going to take a look and take a guess at some of the players who could see big time upgrades come Friday. Let's start out with some of the lesser known players that I feel that's only right that we start out with. Brett Rooker, the rookie who has taken the league by storm and honestly has been the only bright side for the Oakland A's. He's currently at a 65 overall. I mean, the man has quietly put up 9 home runs, 22 RBIs, has an 1181 OPS, and an insane 234 OPS plus. But a lot of people still don't know who he is because he's on the frickin' A's. But the man's been legit so far to start the season. He's basically guaranteed to get some sort of card on Friday. Next up, we'll start with somebody who's been in the league for a little bit now, and Jorge Mateo. Everybody knows what Jorge Mateo's game is. Plays really good defense and he's insanely fast, but he was never much with the bat. Well, I'm assuming his numbers will eventually get back to normal as the year continues. He's off to a great start. I mean, the man was doing his normal thing. He played great defense, had 8 stolen bases in April, but he has 6 home runs already. He's hitting 333 and an OPS just under 1050. The Orioles are off to a great start this season, and he is a large part because of that. Him and Adley Rutschman have made a great 1-2 punch in the lineup. He has the beard, he has the hair, he has it all. A former top 100 prospect for the Los Angeles Angels, Brandon Marsh got traded to the Phillies last season, and he actually performed really well for them with a 118 OPS plus. That was by far the best stretch of his career, but he is topping that to start this season. He currently leads the league in triples with 4, also has 4 home runs, a 410 on base percentage for a guy who's insanely fast, but really the slugging's kind of come out of nowhere. Before he got traded to the Phillies last year, never slugged above 400. Second half with the Phillies, he's slugged 455. Now the first month of the season, he's up to 620. Power's starting to come into form. That's over a 1000 OPS. So I got an offensive WAR of 1.5. Brandon Marsh, similar to Jorge Mateo, I'm guessing eventually is going to come down to normal. But now that he's been a Philly and played games for like a good 5 months or so, we may be witnessing a Brandon Marsh breakout campaign. Still only 25 years old, but only being a 73 overall bronze, definitely in need of an upgrade. Let's start talking about a couple players who have came over in off-season trades, starting out with Luis Urias. Talk about a trade that's worked out for both teams. The Twins look really good right now and like they're gonna compete in the AL Central. Pablo Lopez has had some rough starts lately, but started the year hot. And then Luis Urias, while he doesn't have any power, he's the best hitter in baseball right now. Leads the league in batting average at 435, also leads in on base at 495, also leads the NL in OPS plus at 187. In a month, the guy had like 40 hits. He is on pace for a prime Ichiro campaign. The dude's that good. I legit think he might have a possibility to be the first 400 hitter we've seen since Ted Williams. We'll see if he keeps it up. Then the other trade was another offseason blockbuster with the Sean Murphy trade. Sean Murphy definitely deserves to have a higher overall card. He's been way more than anyone ever expected since he's gone to the Braves. He already has a 1.64. He's great defensively and his offense has been nuts. He's always been a decent hitter, but nothing like this. A 422 on base percentage, an OPS just over 1050, already 8 home runs from the catcher position. That's nuts. And on top of all this, he plays every day and he plays Gold Glove defense. It's really funny looking at that trade because the Braves obviously got Sean Murphy, who's off to an insane start. The Brewers got William Contreras from the Braves, who's also off to a really good start and turned himself into a top catcher. And the A's got freaking Kyle Mueller back, who has like a 7 ERA, and Esteury Ruiz, who was solid, but his only tool is his speed. Nothing crazy there. So the A's definitely lost that trade, while the Brewers and Braves are freaking laughing right now because of what they had to give up. But Sean Murphy, hell of a first month in Atlanta. This is a breakout that a lot of people saw coming just because he killed it in spring training. He was a former top 5 prospect. You knew it was just a matter of time. He's still only 23, but Jarred Kelenic off to a really good start, starting to live up to the top prospect type. Currently hitting 309 on the season, OPS just under 1000, 176 OPS plus. He already has 7 home runs a month into the season. His career high, his rookie season, he hit 14. He's halfway there, and he's only played in 27 games. Watch out for the Jarred Kelenic breakout campaign. Mariners are going to be fun this year. So those are some of the players who I think will get lower overall diamonds. Now let's talk about some of the players who are candidates for the Lightning card, which the way content has been this year, we can assume it's going to be a 99 overall. Let's start out by talking about Ronald Acuna. He's back into his MVP form after a down season by his standards last year. Still only 25, which but he might be on pace to have his best campaign yet and is a legit MVP contender. A lot of guys are absolutely killing it for the Braves. That's why they're off to a hot start, but he's definitely been the main reason. A 450 on base percentage, OPS at 1035, 176 OPS plus, great numbers there. He's hitting 362 with a 2 WAR already a month in. He's on pace for a 10+ WAR campaign. But the thing everybody loves about Acuna is the mixture of power and speed. He's always had that, having nearly a 40-40 season a couple years ago. He has 5 home runs right now. Definitely expect that number to go up. I believe he hit 4 in April, and he leads the league in stolen bases with 14, but he also leads the league in runs with 26, and hits with 42, just ahead of Luis Urias, doubles with 11, and total bases with 68. He's back in his MVP form. Ronald Acuna cards always play really well in the show. A 99 Acuna the first month into the game would be fucking nuts. Another player having a great start to the year after a down year last year is Max Muncy. Max Muncy would be a really fun 99 overall Lightning card to use from MLB The Show standards, just because he's got a really sick left-handed swing, and he plays everywhere on the infield. Can put him at first, second, or third, so you have some versatility with him. His numbers are very similar to Acuna in a lot of metrics, so on-base percentage just over 400, about a 1030 OPS, and a 175 OPS plus. A lot of that is because Max Muncy, unlike some of these other guys who are hitting mid-300s, he only has a 241 average, but currently is tied for the lead league in home runs with 11. 11 a month into the season's great. You're on pace for 60 plus. No way he's gonna repeat what Judge did last year, but a 40 home run season for Max Muncy is definitely a realistic possibility. And I think the mixture of power, versatility, and one of the better left-handed swings in the game, it'd make Max Muncy a fun player of the month card. Then last hitter I want to talk about, and who I think is going to be the Lightning player of the month, is Matt Chapman of the Blue Jays. Funny how baseball works, because last 2 seasons he had some really down years, to a point where he was basically an average offensive threat. Of course, he was one of the best defensive third basemen in the game. But fast forward to this year, let's just talk about what he's leading the league in right now. Well, first off, he has 40 hits, so he's not far behind Acuna, but he leads in doubles at 15, AL batting average at 374, AL on base percentage at 455, OPS plus at 209, total bases at 70. Top of that, he has 5 home runs, and like I said, he's arguably a top 3 defensive third baseman in the game, right up there with Brian Hayes and Nolan Arenado. Matt Chapman cards usually have pretty decent power, so a maxed out fielding Matt Chapman with good power and a contact right around 100, he would be a nasty all-around third baseman. And I believe he's got a pretty decent swing too. Definitely not anything on par with Acuna's or Muncy's, but this is the route I'm going for who I think the player of the month is going to be. Definitely much deserved, and he's had some pretty damn good campaigns in the past, so it's not realistic to expect him to keep up this type of contribution. So there are the hitters. Now let's move on to some pitchers we could see. Start out with a couple Twins, the first one being Joe Ryan. Somebody correct me on this, but I believe the Twins got Joe Ryan in just a random trade. Nobody knew who he was coming over, and since he became a Twin, he's just been lights out. He was basically a throw. He is currently 5-0 right now with a 2.37 ERA, 43 strikeouts in 38 innings, ERA plus of 183, and an insane whip of 0.76. The man just isn't allowing anything right now, and on top of that, if we got a card, his pitch repertoire is nasty with a fastball, slider, splitter, curveball, and a slurve combo. Doesn't throw very hard, but a really good 5-pitch mix. He'd be a really card to get. Then another Twin that's having insane success in the rotation is Sonny Gray. Dude, there's just something about players struggling on the Yankees and leaving them to have a just newfound success. Joey Gallo, I believe Jorge Mateo was a Yankee. The New York pressure, man, some people just can't handle it. But Sonny Gray's start to the season is nuts. He's 4-0 right now. Well, what's nuts is he has a 0.77 ERA. He has pitched 35 innings and have given up 3 runs all year. His ERA plus is an insane, just unsustainable 5.63. And it's weird because we just talked about Joe Ryan. His whip was 0.76. He was just not allowing anybody on. Sonny Gray's at a 1.06, so much higher. Still really good, but significantly higher than Joe Ryan's. He's at least allowing guys to get on base. But not allowing a home run yet 5 starts into the season is definitely gonna help. But not allowing a home run 6 starts into the season is definitely gonna help with that ERA. Sonny Gray's numbers are unsustainable, but goddamn, he has been lights out to start the season. Really deserving of at least a mid-90s card. Start out with a couple NL Central players and Justin Steele for the Cubs. He's an older player for how long he's been into the season. This is only his 3rd year. Last year was his first full year in the rotation at 26, but he was really good, and he's somehow getting better. 6 starts in, he has a 1.49 ERA. ERA plus of 296, can't touch Sonny Gray's insane number, but he does lead the NL with that mark. I think that just shows how insane Sonny Gray's month has been. There's definitely some luck involved with his numbers. His strikeout numbers are not there, so he's allowing a good amount of contact, and his FIP is 3.40, but he does have a whip under 1, so it is a lot of weak contact, maybe getting lucky here and there. Then the other NL Central card I want to talk about is David Bednar, closing pitcher for the Pirates. What the fuck is going on with the Pirates? I was expecting 20 wins all year. They got 20 wins in the first month. I mean, shit, good for them. Giving that fan base some hope. Having watchable baseball going into the summer is always fun. David Bednar's been shut down in the back end of that bullpen. A 0.69, a very nice ERA. He's 2-0. He's pitched 13 innings with 17 strikeouts. A .69, another very nice whip. Man just loves 69. Nothing wrong with that. Who am I to judge? Then these next two, I'm unsure if they'll get a card just because they're deserving of the April Player of the Month Lightning card. I really think they're gonna go more on the offensive side for this month, but both are deserving. One of them being Zach Allen of the Diamondbacks. Last 2 years, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. He's continuing it this year. He leads the league in innings at 43, also leads in strikeouts at 57, and he's one of these pitchers where his ERA is good at a 2.53, but it's significantly lower. His FIP is lower. Usually you see it vice versa, where you have the lower ERA, but the higher FIP. His FIP's an insane 1.73, so he's getting extremely unlucky to start the season, but he's still putting up numbers. And then the next player I think's the best pitcher in baseball right now, it's Spencer Strider. God, dude, the Braves have so many fucking weapons on their team. We talked about Sean Murphy already. We talked about Acuna possibly being the Lightning Player of the Month and an NL MVP candidate. Then you got Spencer Strider, who is a potential Cy Young candidate. He's 4-0 with a 2.57 ERA, and in 35 innings, he has 57 strikeouts. His stuff is disgusting. He leads the league in hits per 9, only allowing 4.9 hits per 9, and he also leads in strikeouts per 9 with 14.7. But that is my predictions for some of the players that you could see for the April Player of the Month program that drops on Friday. If I missed anybody that you think's deserving, let me know down in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel for daily MLB The Show 23 content, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.